Hi, I'm Jenn Yarbrough with Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, and today we're going to be using the 36-inch Cabela's griddle to cook my well-known walleye fried rice. This fish was spearfished in the great state of Arkansas, so let's get started. First thing you want to do is get this grill going. I'm going to put a couple pieces of butter in for the rice. We're going to stick the rice on this side of the griddle. I'm gonna make sure your griddle is nice and hot before you start your rice on here. That way it doesn't get mushy and it'll start frying almost immediately. Cook it as evenly as possible, so you kind of want it to get pretty level. The next thing we'll get started on is the vegetables, and I'm just gonna use a little bit of cooking oil here in the middle. Get this beautiful broccoli in here. Broccoli is a little bit hardier of a veggie, so it's going to take a little bit longer than the others. Want to get it started early. Next will be the carrots. And the onion. It helps to have all your veggies prepped before you get started because that can be pretty time consuming. Just want to let these cook down a little bit. We're going to cook those onions till they're translucent. Just keep an eye on them. Flip the rice. You can see it's starting to get a little bit of brown on it, which is good. Keep stirring it around a bit, but flatten it out and let it fry also. I'm gonna go ahead and get the fish going over here. We're using fresh walleye caught in Bull Shoals Lake, Arkansas. I say caught, it was spearfished. Probably turn this down to about medium heat because that fish is gonna cook pretty quick at that heat. Make sure you get it cooked in that butter. It's okay if things get kind of mixed up because it's all going to go together. In the end, I'm going to turn this middle one down a hair. I'm going to go ahead and mix all the veggies up. It's starting to smell real good. You know your fish is getting close to being done when it starts flaking like it is. It's not a bad thing. A little bit more oil to the rice. The veggies a little bit. All right, the veggies are about done, so I'm gonna pull them forward here where it's a little less hot, and then continue with the fish. It's starting to flake good, so I'm gonna add in the mushrooms and the eggs going here in the middle. Just sprinkle a little bit of salt and pepper on the eggs. Hit some salt. Some pepper. Probably gonna go ahead and put a little bit of soy sauce in that rice here in a minute. Like I said, it's all going to get mixed up together in the end, so it's not really a big deal about keeping everything separate. I just like to keep an eye on things separately. Just make sure not one thing gets burned. I find that adding the soy sauce while you're cooking, it gives it a little bit different flavor than putting it on after it's done cooking. I kind of gauge when I mix it all together by the doneness of the fish, because that is the meat, and you definitely want the meat to be cooked all the way through. I'm going to mix everything together now. The mushrooms will continue to cook You don't want overcooked mushrooms. That's why I added them in last next to the eggs. Definitely keep adjusting your temperature as you are seeing how things are cooking. You want it to cook evenly, but you also don't want to burn anything. Finally, if you put it in a big pile like that, it continues steaming the mushrooms a little bit more and gets them just the right doneness. So put it in a pile there and compress it down. Probably add a little bit more soy sauce. This is not a scientific amount. It's just kind of a look thing. You can always add more later. We're going to add the Cabela's Thai chili sauce. I don't want it to cook or get too sticky, which is why I'm turning the griddle off before I put it on. Gonna give it a nice Asian flair with a little bit of bite. Just let that cook for a minute. Mix it up. All right, guys, that's pretty much done. We're gonna plate it and we'll drizzle some of the Thai wing chili sauce on it and garnish with some green onions, and that will be it. Thank you so much for cooking with me. This is one of my favorite recipes, so please let me know what you think in the comments and check out our channel for more recipes like this one.